Greetings mod lovers across the universe, DW here along with no one else because this is Mod Explaining. In the last episode I ended up showing you 3 different turtles with 3 different programs. In this video I'm going to be showing you printers and wired modems. So without further ado, let's begin. Now usually to start off the video I usually end up going into either the turtle or in this case a computer and just start typing down some programs and stuff. But first I'm going to actually end up showing you what's in the printer. So this is basically the printer, where it ends up having at least loads of slots. The slots up here are mainly for paper. The slot here is mainly for ink, for writing, and whatever you end up telling the computer to write down or print out goes down here. So I just wanted to end up showing you that, so you end up understanding when I end up printing out some stuff. So without further ado, let's begin. First let me go into CD disk, and then I'm going to end up making a new program called, I'm going to end up calling it printing. Okay, that's perfect. And the first thing I'm going to end up showing you once I end up typing all of it out is a program that ends up a program you can make that ends up counting all the paper in the printer. So first things first, let me type all of it out. Now usually it takes me a while to type all this out, but luckily I don't actually need to type out that much because there's actually not much code to show in this episode. Well, there's a bit, but is that everything? Oh wait, I forgot the rest. Dot wrap. And I think that should be everything, yeah. If you're wondering what this bit of code actually does, it ends up actually telling the computer where the printer is. Now, as you can see, for the turtle, it's actually on the right side. But seeing that usually you end up facing this way at the computer, in order to tell it where it is, if it's on your left, then you should end up typing left instead of right for the computer side. You get the picture. Your left, it's your left. Just type your left. Long story short. Anyway, continue on. Next up is paper equals printer dot get paper level. Okay, and then next all you need to do is just type down print and then just do paper. Okay, and that's the entire code, and all we need to do now is just end up, I think I should have already saved it. Yes, I did. And now all I need to do is just type that out, and it should end up telling me how much paper we have. Wait, what? Hold on, let me look at this. That's interesting. Oh, I see what I've done here. I did a dot. I'm supposed to do equals here. That's why it's not working. Okay, now this should work. There we go. Sorry about that. I didn't actually look at the code that well. Okay, so as you can see here, it ended up telling us that there's 64 pieces of paper, which there is. Now, if we end up doing it again, it should say 32, and look at that. It ended up telling us there is now 32. Okay, but continuing on, so that's that bit. So if you want to end up checking how much paper is actually in there, say if you ended up having more stacks than just one stack, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to end up having only 6 stacks in here. So if you wanted to end up having 6 stacks of paper, you can end up checking how much paper is actually in there. Yeah, so that's that one. And not only can you end up actually checking how much paper is in there, you can also end up checking how much ink is in there as well. So if we end up actually doing ink equals printer dot get ink level, boop boop, and just like last time, just end up doing print, and all you need to do is just print ink. I almost said equals. What the hell? All you need to do is press. Sorry, I'm kind of getting muddled in my speech. All you need to do is just. You already know what you need to do. Okay, so now if I end up doing this, it should end up telling us that there is 64 ink in the computer. As you can see here, 64. So if I now take out 32, hold on, it now tells us that there's only 32 because I ended up taking out at least half. Okay, now quickly go back in again. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to show you is... Hold on, I'm just looking at here. Ah, yes. Now, I've already ended up showing you that you can end up having programs to count the paper and count the ink, which is all handy dandy. But the main thing you want to end up looking at is how much. Not how much. Sorry. The main thing you want to end up having is it actually printing something out. So that's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to end up having a program that ends up printing out a piece of paper. So hold on. So next thing I'm going to do is, hold on, I've already got that, so I'm going to end up doing printer.new page, and then boop boop, then printer.set page title. Just so we're clear, this code here which says set page title, you don't actually need this, but if you want to end up actually naming the piece of paper, then you want this in. If you don't want it named, then don't put it in. It's up to you. It's your choice, dude. Or whoever's watching. Anyway. Okay, that should be it. And next is... Oh yeah, obviously we need to end up writing something on the piece of paper. So, printer.write... Boop, boop. And I'm going to end up writing something simple like, I like a fish. Okay. And, whoops. Printer dot end page. Okay. And that should be it. And now if I end up typing that out, it should end up sending a message to the printer to end up printing out what I've told it to print out. Oh yeah, I actually didn't point this out before. You also notice that when there's actually paper in there, it ends up showing this white little line. That's the paper, and when it's out, there's no white line, meaning no paper. But anyway, which means that once it's printed out, it should end up having a little white line down there. But anyway, if we now do that, see, white line, and now it ends up saying. Now it should end up saying, I like fish, and the title of it is printed paper. Now, if you end up going on it, I like page 1. And I'm going to keep this for now for later on. You'll understand why. Now, that's all nice and dandy, but notice how with this piece of paper, it's only ended up printing down one line. What if you ended up wanting to print down 2 lines? Like, right now it ends up saying, I like fish, and it ends up saying a second line, something else. So, hold on. Let me quickly put this at the side. And I'll end up redoing some of this. Now, hold on. Holdy. Okay, so now, all I want to do now is make a second line. So in order to do that, I just need to end up typing out printer dot... Where am I here? I should say printer dot set cursor pose. Yes. And I end up telling it where to go. So 1, 2. Okay, and finally I'll end up doing printer dot. Okay, and then write the thing I want it to write. So I want it to end up writing and chips. Is that what I want to write? Yes, I do. Okay, and then that should be it. There's not much to add after that. Okay, so if I now end up doing that, it now should end up printing out something else saying, whoops, I forgot to change it from 1 to what, doesn't matter. Originally I was going to print it out to, originally I was going to print it out to say, I like P2. I'll just do that again just for the hell of it. I like P2. Okay. And, okay, so now if we end up going to I like P2, I like fish and chips. Oh, there was one last thing I forgot to show you. Hold on. Now, I forgot to mention this. With the ink, you don't need actually just need to have ordinary black ink. You can end up having any ink you want. Like with coloring your turtles, you can end up having any ink you want. Red, green. Oh, that says lime. Where's green? Green, orange. You can end up having any color. Just to prove this, I'm going to switch this with this and end up typing it out again. And now, if we end up looking at it, it now has blue writing. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm going to get rid of the black one because I like the blue color better. Okay, now there's main reason why I've ended up printing out these two. One, to show you, one, you can print out paper, and two, you can end up printing out paper with two lines on it. But you can also end up doing some crafting recipes. Now, here's some two crafting recipes I ended up finding out in my spare time. One where you can end up making... Wait, hold on. Let me quickly make it. One where you can end up making... printed pages. And in order to make this crafting recipes, you either need to do it like this or do it any way you want. You don't really need to pick. You need to do this, 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 this. It doesn't really matter where. Although, one thing to point out, notice how it says I like P1. That's because the P1 is in front. If I end up putting P2 there, it now says, oh. If I now end up putting P2 there, it should say P2. But I'm going to switch that around. And now we have printed pages I like 1. And if we end up going on to that, okay, there and there, see, 2 pages. And not only that, there's a second crafting recipe where you can end up making a book, a printed book. Now, in order to do that, you just need to end up putting this, with this, with, whoops, this, and you end up having a printed book. Doesn't matter where you end up putting it, just like the last crafting recipe, as long as it's in the crafting table, it should be fine. And now you can end up see it's now a crafted book. It's basically the same except it has covers over it. See, pretty good. Now that's that. So that's how you end up making printed pages or printed book. Now I feel like I got on a bit off track there, just showing you the printed stuff, the printed crafting recipes. Now the next thing I'm going to end up doing is, oh yeah. There's only a couple more programs you can end up using with the printer. Another one is... Hold on, if I end up going back. What's the other one? What's the other one? Oh, yeah. The other one... Hold on 1 second. Thank you. Anyway, before I get interrupted again, let's see here. The next thing you can end up doing is, if you want to end up printing out stuff like sentences and stuff and write your own book, that's all handy dandy. But what if you ended up wanting to print out, say, certain things like the level of ink the printer has? This is actually something you can end up doing. So if I end up doing ink and just typing out all of this again, ink equals printer dot where are you? Get ink level, and then boop boop, and then I need that. I don't really need. Oh yeah, I'll change this. I'm gonna change this to the ink level. Right, that's all good. And now, if I end up simply typing out, what else do I need? Ink level. Oh yeah, I don't need this extra stuff like over here. Hold on, get rid of this quickly. Alright, and now, if I end up just getting rid of this, I'm going to end up saying, I don't even need this or this, I just need to end up saying ink. This should work. Now hold on. So now, notice that right now the ink level is 63. If we now type this out, it now tells us that the ink level is 63. But seeing that I ended up having to use ink in order to create this, is now 62. So take away 1 when looking at the stats. But that's that. Okay, there's only one last program to use with the printer, which is a program where you can end up actually checking what size paper you can end up writing, what width the paper is. You can end up knowing how much to write on that certain page instead of it going off the page. Like hold on, if I end up getting ink level. Say if you ended up writing on one single line for a very long time, all the rest of the words would be lost, which is why you need to keep on going down lines, end up going line 1, line 2, line 3, and 4. But what if we ended up actually knowing what size width the paper was, so we can end up changing that bit. So now all I need to do is get rid of some stuff. I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of, let's see. I just need to get rid of you and you. I just need to get rid of you and you. Okay. So now the only thing I need to add now is paper size. I missed the I. Paper size, and then equals printer dot get page size. And next and final thing is tell it to print paper size. Okay. Now before this actually ends up, before I actually do anything, if this program doesn't work, I do apologize. Because I've tested it out before and it's kind of a bit glitchy. Oh no, it says 25, that it does work. Okay, so this program's telling you how long the width is. The pages are 25. The only weird thing is that it ends up actually printing out the paper in order to check this. I don't know why it does that. I think it's because you end up having new page and end page. But the main reason I put those in is because if you don't end up actually putting them in, it ends up coming up with this weird message. Like, hold on. It ends up coming with this weird message saying, hold on, let me show you. This weird message saying, page not started. I think it needs to print out in order to do it. Although, just saying this now, I did actually test this off recording without those new page and end page code, and it actually did work. So I don't know why it's not working now, and you need to end up putting new page and end page, but whatever. But anyway, that's everything on the printer. Now I'm going to end up showing you the wired modems, which you can end up seeing right here. Now before we actually begin, I'm going to end up actually showing you how you can end up putting wired modems on. All you need to do is shift and end up putting it on. If you end up doing it any other way, it won't work. See? I can't actually do it. And by the way, I've ended up looking online in order how to do this, and no video ended up showing me this. So this is the first video to ever actually show you how to put a wired modem on a computer. So yeah, good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, hold on, just going through my notes. The next thing I want to do is, first off, turn on the wired modems for printer and the monitor, and end up going into the Lua. Okay, the main reason I'm going into Lua is because the guy who ended up going into Lua, albeit who I ended up watching in order to find out this stuff, ended up using Lua instead of making his own programs, which I don't like, but I'm gonna have to do it because I tried out this code he showed me in Lua. I tried out this code he ended up showing me in other programs, and let's just say it didn't work. You can only use it in Lua, I think. Although that's only a theory, so. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, sorry. Next thing, okay, I just need to end up typing out this. Alright, and wrap, and boop boop. As you know, this just end up telling the computer where the wired modem is. So, it's on the right this time instead of the left like we had it over there. So now if I end up doing, remember, you're right, not the computer's right, because the computer's right is there. We need it over there. But anyway, shake your head, shake your head. Now I'm going to end up doing this, and then p get put get twice. Names remote, and then okay, and what that's done is basically, if I now end up doing stuff like this, it's end up telling me the names of both the monitor and the printer, which you're going to need to know. So if I end up doing this, it ends up telling me the printer is printer, little thing here, and then 3. And if I end up doing 2, it tells me the monitor is monitor, then little thing there, and then 3. Okay, so that ends up telling you the names, which you're going to actually need to know later on. Now, the next thing I want to do is... Oh, yeah. The next thing I want to do is actually turn off this, because we no longer need the printer. Sorry, printer. You're no longer useful to me. And the next thing I want to do is do T equals P dot get... oh, wait, it's an E... modems, remote, and then, okay, this is the part where you're going to want to know the name of it, but luckily that actually says it right there, so I don't even need to look it up. So, and then free, okay, and just do that, okay. Sorry about that. I have a bit of a bad throat. Anyway. Continuing on, and then hashtag T, do print, and then I'm gonna need, and then end. Now, before I actually print this out, let me quickly tell you what. Print this out. God damn it, printer! You ended up screwing up my head. Before I actually end up typing all this out, let me quickly tell you what this does. This this code basically ends up listing all the functions that end up working with peripheral. Mainly the peripherals that end up using stuff with, say, well, the monitor. Long story short. So if I end up typing this out, you can now end up seeing that ends up listing loads of different types of functions that belong to peripherals, and I could tell that kind of around the monitor, because most of the stuff like change background color or change... I like how it's different, like English and American. Anyway, English, American. Anyway, text color, text color. Anyway, you can see what it does. Now, the last thing I actually need to do, and this actually won't take too long, is just type out this and this and this little code I'm going to show you here ends up telling the whatever's connected to the computer, aka the monitor, to do whatever you want with it. So if I end up, hold on, you'll understand as I go along. Sorry. I want to do free, and then whoops, I got that wrong. Sorry, and then that. So now at this point, you just need to end up telling it to do whatever you want it to do. And what I want it to do is end up writing. So I want to write, and then that, and then the next thing I want it to do is write what I want it to write, and I want it to write hi Minecraft, Minecraft DW13. Okay, and now if I end up actually pressing the enter button, it should have ended up actually typing out what I wanted to type out. See, it ended up typing out hi Minecraft DW13. So we've ended up actually typing this out on the computer, but while connected by wired modems in order for the monitor to work. Which I find quite cool. Oh yeah, one last thing I'd like to mention. Notice how I ended up actually clicking on the wired modem here and here. I didn't actually click on this one here because this one's actually sending out. It's not actually receiving anything. So you don't actually need to click on this one unless, of course, you want it to receive some information from one of these two items, which is very doubtful, but you know. But that's actually all the information I actually have, and I think I've explained everything to the best of my abilities. So hope you all enjoyed my subscribe. Make sure to leave a like. Once the channel, man, send it to your friends, your cats, your goldfish. Also, if you feel like the way I've explained this wasn't that good, make sure to check out the guys I watch in order to find out this information. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!